remember Sankara's teacher telling me how he couldn't sit down in class for up to 5 minutes, how he would run out of class and keep running through the entire campus. I can remember how the first time I actually saw Sankara sitting down for 30 minutes was when he sat down on the earth, just observing nature and playing with some stones. I can remember Sankara's teacher telling me, indeed you're a strong woman. Autism is the monster in my family, and we are doing everything with all the resources that we have to eliminate this monster. Sankara was born in 2015 in a small town in Cameroon called Boya. Shortly after birth, he came out and was crying profusely, really vigorously, really vibrating. And I can remember the other mothers in the other wards left their babies and came to me saying, "Oh, why is he crying so much? What's wrong?" And he kept crying and crying, and it got worse by frustration of breast milk not being produced shortly after delivery. So the cries were really so profuse and vigorous. And it continued that way even when we got home. Sankara kept crying and crying, and his sleep pattern was highly interrupted by several hours of cries every single day, and we had to hold him in a particular kind of way for him to sleep, and well, it kept on that way. And we noticed when he got to about 2 months and a half, he started responding to some sounds that we were making.
Dr. Saki.
We actually thought he was quite young. It was quite early for him to be doing those kind of sounds. And when he got to about 4 months, he would spin around on his car like that. He would spin around in his car for quite some minutes, every single day. He kept doing the same thing repetitively like that. Nonetheless, he grew up and attained his milestones. He started talking. By 1 year, he was saying mama, papa. By 10 months, he was walking.
Mama, mama, mama. Mama, mama, mama. Signa, go ahead. Mama, mama, mama. Signa. Signa, darling. Mama, mama. Mama, please get me a mug. Let me drink some tea. Mama, mama, mama. Mama. Mama.
Once he was walking, and then he
Mama,
used to eat very well until he got to about 1.5 years where he started really refusing meals that he used to enjoy and started preferring one single meal every single day. And then his speech did not really improve with time, as we would have expected that by 2 he would have developed vocabulary and more speech. We noticed that it was actually kind of stagnant.
You're fine. Did you go to school today?
Go to school.
Oh, you want to go to school?
Go to school.
Did you go to school today?
I go to school today.
You did not go to school, right?
Go to school.
You want to go to school. Sanki, you cannot go to school because of coronavirus, okay? The schools are closed, okay? The schools will open up soon, okay?
Go to Manesh.
Oh, you cannot go to Manesh either because of coronavirus. Say, Mama, I want to go to Manesh.
I want to go to Manesh.
Oh, you can't go to Manesh, Sanki. Sanki, what is the name of your school?
MSS school.
Sanki, what is the name of your school?
MSS school.
Your school is called? Tiama.
Mama.
Sanki, look at me. What is your name?
This is fine.
What is your name?
This is Sanki.
Your name is Sanki. What are your full names?
The fullness is a school.
No, Sanki. Your full names are Sankara Ngasa. Come and look at me. Come and look at me. Sit up. What are your full names? Your full names are... Sorry? Sankara.
Kasa.
Sanki, how old are you?
I have 4 years old.
Oh, you're 4 years old. Okay, fine. Good. You remember that. That's good. Sanki. Now, how about going to church? Oh, do you...
Church is closed.
Yes, the church is closed. Oh, good. You remember that as well. That's good.
And so by 2 years, he became extremely hyperactive, really hyperactive, couldn't barely sit down for 5 minutes, always running around the place, running around the place. And of course, his sleep disorder continued. He would wake up from between 3 to 7 times every single night till about 2 years. And then we noticed that by the time he got to 3, when he was diagnosed, he had lost every single word he had learned. He became almost non-verbal. The only thing he could say was, "I'm fine." You would ask him, "How old are you?" He would just stare at you like that. Didn't even understand what you meant by that. And then he was already walking on his toes. He was covering his ears with the palm of his hands. He wasn't responding to his name. He did not want to play with his peers, other children. He preferred to isolate himself. He refused to chew. He wasn't chewing. He had to eat food that did not demand him to chew. And so at this stage we decided to, of course, consult with him. We consulted a neuropediatrician at the Chantal Bia's Foundation, where they did all the routine tests, and at the end of the checks they gave us the diagnosis of autism. And so for like a year we followed up with all the therapies that were prescribed for him. And so we started off in August 2019 to give Sankara cloves, when we had read previously from some article that cloves were good for detoxification. So we gave him the cloves with the intention to detoxify his system. And so we noticed that he started responding to it. He would sleep relatively well compared to the way he used to sleep before. So he would sleep really deep and for long hours. And we noticed that after the sleep, when he wakes up, he is much more conscious. His comprehension slowly improving. His brain is kind of sharp when he wakes up from those deep, long hours of sleep. And so we continued giving the clove, and slowly after that, we noticed even his speech started getting better. Sankara is a lot much better. His speech has relatively improved so well. His social skills has really improved. He's always playing with friends, be it in the house, be it in school. He's always socializing and playing with a lot of friends. His feeding has improved today. Sankara would eat every single meal we cook in the house. He will eat. Today, Sankara he's learning his alphabets, he's learning his numbers, he can help with chores at home, He's a lot better today than he used to be before we ever started clove.
This guy's making food.
That car is making brew.
What's that?
Okay.
Beep! The guy says I'm looking for a Mama, I'm making beep.
You're making
There's
beep.
somebody.
There's somebody, so you're making peep, peep. Can I pass?
Beep! Son of a... Become some. Yeah, where?
La mets de qui?
Beep! 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 Je connais pas.
La mets de qui? Il s'appelle comment?
Didi. C'est la banane.
Oui, Léna, c'est moi.
Beep. Moi qui a pris et c'est moi qui joue. C'est moi qui a pris et c'est moi qui joue. Dis, mon Dieu. Regardez comment il pédale, mon petit. Manger. Toi.
Pineapple is P. Pineapple.
What we've done? This is the birthday cake.
C'est birthday cake.
Take.
Okay.
Blue pineapple.
What's that?
Mosquito.
Okay.
This one with this one have this one
Okay.
this one I want to go orange. That one is there's the
face. Face cook all over face.
Okay. I'm called Gemma. I'm the mother of Ethan George. He was born on the 26th of November 2014 in a small village in the northwest region, Ginicom. I had Ethan at 7 months, 3 weeks. So he was born a little bit before his expected date of delivery. And he grew up, he was okay. When he came out, he was okay, grew up like every normal child. Up to the age of 10 months when I realized that there was some regression because the speech that he had picked up, the words that he could utter out, he was losing them. Then by the age of 1 year, he went back from standing and taking steps to crawling up to the age of 2 where he could walk normally like every other child. Then he had a lot of difficulties with sleep. I noticed that there was a lot of energy in him. He will not sit on one spot. He will move around, touch this and touch that in the night. If he has to sleep, 4 hours was too much for him to sleep. So I was so worried. I took him to hospitals in the northwest, and there he was diagnosed at Lingo Baptist Hospital of having inner ear effusion. A tube was inserted, but that wasn't the help because the sleep was still the issue. Then I came to Yaoundé. I went to CHU and he was checked and they said he had the issues with the ear, but when it was not serious, I went to CMPS and the ENT that saw him said he had problems with one of the ears and gave him hearing aids. With the hearing aids, it was still not changing because he's non-verbal. He says a word and you will stay for months before you hear him say another word. So I was worried and I went to see a neuropediatrician. And when he saw him, that's when he was diagnosed of having autism, but not hearing difficulties. So he stopped wearing the hearing aids and was sent for speech therapy. When I got there at the center for the therapy, I happened to meet Madame Sandrine, and she talked to us about clove and the benefits that she had seen with her own son, who is also having autism. So I started using clove in November of 2019, and a week later I noticed that Ethan could sleep better. He could sleep for longer hours and the hyperactivity was reducing. Then I also noticed that the clove had effect on his kidneys because he had difficulties eliminating waste in form of urine. The urine was too concentrated, but when he started taking clove, Ethan was urinating normally and the urine was clear, his hyperactivity was reducing, the sleep was really getting better. And to me, I realized that clove was really, because that's the only added thing that I added in, the only new thing that I added in his diet, and it was really beneficial. But after he turned 5, I noticed that the effect of the clove was not as felt as it was before. So I'm still in worry, thinking maybe it has outgrown its effect on him, or it's the age. But with the clove, I think that was my starting point to rest as a mother, where he could sleep for more longer hours than before.
Salut Sandrine, c'est Amélie, la maman de Romuald. Comment tu vas? Et le petit Sankara, il s'est amélioré au niveau de son langage. Ça fait depuis je ne suis plus, je ne viens plus aux séances avec Romuald. Nous ne sommes plus dans la ville. Nous sommes retournés chez nous en Gaoundéré. Comme entre-temps, j'ai eu une petite fille. Je t'appelle par rapport au clove de girofle dont tu m'avais conseillé une fois en salle. Je ne sais pas si tu te souviens. Vraiment, j'ai essayé le clou de girofle à Romian. Je lui ai donné, comme tu as dit, comme tu avais en parlé. Mais chez Romian, ce que j'ai constaté une nette amélioration de son sommeil. Romian, aujourd'hui, dort comme son petit frère. Donc, il a un sommeil régulier dans la nuit. Il se couche, quand il se couche à 21h, il se réveille à 6h, comme son petit frère. S'il te plaît, parle du clou. Il faut essayer d'en parler aux mamans qui sont en salle. Surtout celles qui ont des enfants avec des difficultés de sommeil, là. Qu'elles expérimentent aussi le clou. Demande-leur d'expérimenter le clou et tu m'appelles. Le clou a un effet très positif sur le sommeil de l'enfant. Et j'ai également remarqué une nette amélioration de la coloration de ses urines. Autrefois, Romial avait des urines très jaunes. Je ne sais pas si le clou là également a un effet de, je ne sais pas comment je peux dire, au niveau des reins. Parce qu'aujourd'hui, ses urines sont devenues très claires. Très claires. Donc, je l'ai vraiment observé sur son traitement quand j'ai constaté que les nuits que je lui donnais, parce qu'au départ, je lui en donnais, mais avec beaucoup de négligence, quoi. Mais quand je constatais une amélioration au niveau de son sommeil, surtout les nuits que je lui donnais bien concentré là, il dormait franchement. J'ai persisté, je lui ai donné ça pratiquement en continu, hein, sans sauter pendant 3 mois. Aujourd'hui, bien que j'ai arrêté, parce qu'ici, on n'en trouve pas trop en grande quantité facilement comme à Yaoundé. Donc, j'ai même arrêté. Mais son sommeil est resté régulier. Il dort, s'il te plaît, il faut en parler aux mamans. En parle. Il faut en parler. Et tu m'appelles aussi si une a également observé ça chez son enfant. Tu m'appelles également pour me dire si une observe également les mêmes changements chez son enfant. Bon. Bonne soirée à vous. Le bébé s'est réveillé. Mon bébé s'est réveillé. Bonne soirée à vous. Un gros, tu me salues toutes les mamans de la salle. Et un gros coucou à nos bébés. Bye bye.
Bonsoir Sandrine. J'espère que tu vas bien. Alors moi je vais te faire mon petit témoignage sur le clos de girofle. Comme je t'ai écrit avant, on avait commencé le clos de girofle au mois d'octobre. On l'a fait tous les jours, le matin à jeûne et le soir au coucher. On a vu de petites améliorations au niveau du sommeil et au niveau un peu au niveau de la concentration aussi. Mais après 3 mois, donc en début janvier, là, elle a commencé à être très agitée. Comme elle a un problème de déficit en GCSPD, j'ai commencé à faire des recherches et j'ai vu que peut-être qu'elle a un problème de sulfatation, comme les anglophones disent. Donc, et on a dit que les cloves sont parmi les aliments, le clove, c'est-à-dire le clou de girofle, est parmi les aliments à éviter. Donc, j'ai commencé à sauter les jours. J'ai commencé à sauter les jours pour que ça ne dérange pas beaucoup, ça ne la dérange pas beaucoup. Mais je continue à lui donner de temps à autre. Sinon, moi-même, je prends ce clou de girofle, ça m'aide. Ça m'aide non seulement pour le sommeil, mais tu sais que ça aide aussi. C'est un bon anti-inflammatoire. Donc, je continue à lui donner le matin, soit le soir, mais je ne donne plus trop comme avant. Je voudrais d'abord essayer de voir si c'est vraiment ça qui la rendait agitée ou autre chose.